Hey. How do I see? Anyways, welcome back to my channel, guys. This is Perspective, aka your average logical thinker. And today we are going to discuss this video that I saw a couple of weeks ago. I've been meaning to do a live and to react to it. And so today we're going to finally get to it. But first and foremost, let's thank the Most High just for waking us up this morning and giving us another chance to be better today than we were yesterday. I am truly, truly blessed and truly grateful to be here. You guys have no idea. Let's see. I'm just going to pull it up and discuss it. And if anybody comes in the chat, you can chime in or not. Let's see. This is my second time doing this, so don't judge. All right. Now we in business.
It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Every time on when I flew to another state to meet this young lit nigga that's lit on the internet, and to me I felt like he was cat. So yeah, I met him on the internet. I was in Bahamas like the beginning of January for my son. I'm sorry, the beginning of February for my son's birthday or whatever, and he DM'd me on Instagram like, need you. So I'm like, oh, I've been trying to give you me or whatever like that. So he like, whatever. We gonna exchange numbers or what? So I'm like, yeah, because he's some fine shit. Like, I love dark skinned niggas. And when I say he's some fine shit, bitch, he's some fine shit. Or whatever like that. So on the internet, he got 2 watches, big Cardi, 6 cars, supposedly on his house.
Translator. I'm sorry, I need a translator. What did she just say? She was in the Bahamas with her son for his birthday. He reached out to her and said, what? And then she reached back out and said, what? Let's continue.
House, and he young as fuck or whatever. Like that. Dressed nice, always designer down.
I am so sorry. Listen, the first time I watched this, I did not realize how much cursing was in this. So if you are sensitive to cuss words, click off. If you don't like cuss words, click off. Cussing is something I'm working on myself, right? But I still watch content that does cuss. I did not have time to take this video and bleep everything out. So I'm going to just play it just how PJ playing it, okay? Let's continue.
Now, like always posting mad money, etc. So that's my type. I love me a hood, get money, nigga. So he asked for my number or whatever like that. So I gave him my number, and he texted me. And I'm not gonna lie, it was little signs that I didn't like. Like, if I'm on vacation with my kids, I remember I posted my drink or whatever, and I didn't text him right back. And he's on my phone like, oh, you see me text you or whatever, but you posting like that right there.
Just for anybody just coming in, I want to explain to you guys why I'm reviewing this video, right? The title on my video is A Girl Was Flued Out and Ghosted, right? The video gets bad to worse to worser, okay? And I just want to point out the degeneracy of some people and the reason why a lot of us women are being treated the way that we are is because of women just like this young lady right here. The way she has a lack of respect, a lack of regard for her own self-worth is just really trifling. And I just want to show this example and discuss it as we go along. And that's why I'm playing it, and this is why I'm reviewing it, right? Just to show you guys, this is how this newer generation communicates online and meets up with no regard to their own safety, nothing, just utterly ridiculous.
It was like you only have my number for like 20 minutes, like chill out. But I let him slide. So we plan to see each other or whatever like this, like whatever like that on this Saturday. Let's say this Saturday, right? And we plan for me to come Valentine's Day weekend or whatever. And he really was on some shit where like he was like, oh, come whatever, what day, what time, it don't even matter. Like whenever you could come, just come. So I chose that weekend because I'm free every other weekend for my kids. They go with their dad or whatever like that. So that was my free weekend. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I thought he was a fake page at first.
Let me give her props for having a baby daddy that take the kids. Let me give her I gotta give her props for having a baby daddy that wanted to be involved in his kid's life. Okay, she did something right. She did something right. I gotta give her props for that. Okay. What up, New York, Nikki? How you doing? Happy Friday.
Or whatever like that, because it just was like too good to be true. So we were only text, and like he'll tell me to FaceTime him, but by the time I FaceTime him or whatever, he not answering. Now he got an excuse or he don't FaceTime back. So bitch, I started thinking like, bitch, I'm gonna get catfish if I go down here. So I told him, I'm like, look, this Wednesday, like the Wednesday before the Friday. So I'm like, FaceTime me before Friday or I'm not coming. So now he got all that energy. He FaceTime me, etc. I got him on the phone before you really couldn't, like, he'd just be texting and shit like that. So he FaceTime me, he was real, looked the same, looked good as fuck. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready, etc. So Friday.
Okay, so when she say I'm ready, what does that mean? Thank you. What does that mean? Does that mean just sex, or are we talking about like really getting to know each other? I'm confused. Y'all tell me. Y'all let me know. And just so you know, when somebody FaceTimes you or calls you, and then you call back and they don't answer, you know, a lot of times the moment is gone. Like, I don't want to talk anymore. Like, when I called you was when I'm ready. Now I'm moved on to something else. I'm scrolling on my phone. I done got comfy in the bed. I'm not answering the phone. So I feel them on that. But do y'all think that they were moving too fast anyway? You know, were they really trying to get to? It sounds like it was just a sex thing, honestly. It don't sound like she was trying to figure out, you know, relationship or really getting to know this guy. It sounds like they both like what they see, and that's all that matters. But y'all tell me, is this what the young people are doing nowadays? I ain't gonna lie and say I ain't never, you know, met somebody and then hooked up, you know what I'm saying, really, really soon. But when you meet somebody online, isn't there like a time frame that you got to take to like get to know that person? Like, he don't even know her favorite color, and yet she's already flying out. That's crazy to me. Sorry, y'all. I'm starving. What up, Akari? Yeah, I figured that's what it is. Because the way she was like, oh, yeah, I want that. And he was like, yeah, you what I need. I'm like, yo, is that how they talk? This is crazy. Wild. All right. Let's get back. Let's see what else she's talking about. This great. This ain't even like halfway through. Mind you, by the way, it's 2:53. My son is at the after school program and he got there early. As soon as he called, I'm getting off here. I'm not staying. We're not watching all 40 minutes, just so y'all know. We ain't doing that. But y'all gonna see how it gets from like bad. To me, this is already bad. Just meet somebody offline and his first line is, I need you. I need that. I need that. And I keep telling y'all, men objectify women all the time. People are like, no, it's not objectification. No, that is. When they refer to us as objects, that, this. Not, I need you. I want to get to know you. You pretty, you chocolate. I want to know. I need that. And she's like, oh, yeah, I need that too. At least they both on the same page. They both on the same page. So, but it gets worse. It gets so bad, y'all. I couldn't even finish watching it when I watched it on PJ's channel. I was just like, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe women Women. Now y'all the ones that be online acting like y'all are all that. And then y'all stoop to this, but you gonna see, y'all gonna see. I don't know if any of y'all saw this before, but y'all gonna see.
Friday come and we talk, and I'm like, like, you ready? Like, I'm at the nail salon. I'm like, you ready? Like, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to meet you, etc. So he like, yeah, or whatever like that. But I feel like his energy was a little off because he was more excited days before. So I'm like, you good, love? Like, you okay? Because I'm like, I feel like your energy is like kind of off. Like, you're not excited as you was. So he's like, oh, I just found out I got to get my daughter or whatever today. Mind you, it's the day I leave. Like, I'm leaving at 10 p.m. at night to land. I think my flight would land like 12:48 a.m. originally. So I'm like, yo, I took our work for this or whatever, and I already checked into the flight. And he's like, well, what's the issue? Nobody didn't tell you not to come. Like, you could still come. I'm good. I'm gonna just get a sitter. If anything, her and the sitter just stay at my house, and we could just get a room. So I'm like, you know what? All right, that's cool.
And flag on the play. First of all, your energy didn't change. That right there would have been my first red flag. And she mentioned it. She knew, like, something in her spirit already told her, girl, don't go. He already acting funny. I ain't even got on the plane yet. That should have been her first sign. But what she do? Having conversations, and he done talked her into coming. And then when somebody tells you you can still come, no, I need you to be more excited. Like, no, I want you to come. Oh no, you still coming. Like, if you don't come, I'm coming to you type. That's the energy I be on. Not, oh, you could still come. Ain't nobody told you didn't have to come. Nah, sis. Strike two.
I'm all for that, or whatever the case may be. So I still go. Like, I get my nails and I run to the mall. I get everything I need. I pack my shit, and I tell him like, all right, I'm for the land at this time. I go to the airport. Mind you, y'all, I'm rushing because I'm always fucking last minute. I get to the airport. I board the flight or whatever like that. So before I boarded the flight, he texted me this hotel, like Signa or something. It's like one of the best hotels in Atlanta. So I tried to book the hotel online, but everything was booked up. So I told him, I'm like, look, everything booked up because it's Valentine's Day weekend. So he like, nah, you got to call. So I called and like everything was booked the fuck up. Like, literally, it was no hotel. So he like, well, find whatever you can find and just book it. And I'm going to get you from the airport. So I'm like, what's your budget? So he like, what you mean? I'm like, what's your budget? Like, I'll book the room. But when I land, I expect to get my money back or whatever like that. So I'm on the plane, y'all. The plane done took off. So the nigga like, oh, the least you could do is pay for the room. So I'm like, huh? So this when the mishap come in. Because I get it, okay, we supposed to stay at your house originally, but then your child came into play. So now we got to go stay somewhere else, which is cool. Because I think a hotel is better anyway, because you don't know me and I don't know you. And it's more safer, I feel like. So he like, yeah, like, you can pay for the room. I'm going to fund the rest of the trip. Baby, you a whole scammer. You think I'm paying for a motherfucking hotel for you to come fuck on me? So he all like, yo, I feel like you could pay for something. I'm funding the rest of the trip.
I got a question. First of all, as much as I watched, I never did figure out whether she paid for her flight or not. I don't know if she never mentions that. I'm gonna assume that she paid for her flight because she never mentions the fact that he paid for the flight. I'm just gonna assume that she paid for it because she's like, I know you don't expect me to pay for my flight and my room. That's why she's so adamant about getting her hotel fee back. But y'all tell me what y'all think. I don't know. And then another thing that irritates my soul. Why is you at the mall buying new stuff for a trip to a place you ain't never been before? I saw a meme about this the other day. People will go out and buy new clothes to visit new places where nobody where you going has ever seen you in the clothes you already got. And I totally feel that. Like, why are we buying new clothes for a dude that ain't even buy our ticket to come see him? Ladies, this is why men treat us like crap these days, because y'all allow it. Y'all are making it hard for women that are worthy of something to get a good man to take care of them because y'all fall for stupid mess like this. But I'm going to let it continue.
Trip or whatever the case may be. So we start arguing or whatever like that. So then the plane land and I'm like, you really arguing over a $300 something hotel, but you scamming, you hitting all these licks all this big money you posting. I mean, like $20,000-$30,000. You
See?
can't book a $300 hotel. And I just felt like if you brought me to your city, you should make sure I'm good. Like if you came to my city and something happened, I'm going to correct it before you get there. I'm going to figure this shit the fuck out. Because I mean, why wouldn't I? Like it don't make sense. I didn't ask to come there. You wanted to come. Now I agree we wanted to see each other, but still, like, what? So when I landed, the nigga arguing, going all back and forth and shit. So I'm like, listen, cancel your sitter, stay home with your kid. Go ahead and bond. I'm cool. Like I ain't even link you no more, etc. Y'all, this nigga was like, oh, you must be coming to come see another nigga. Nigga, what? I took off from my job, stopped one of my business to come see you. You talking about another nigga? That's your
Pause. So you had to pay to get a sitter for your, hold on, let me. I can't even work it. So you took off from your job. So you losing money already for a day or two to go to meet a guy you just met online because he fine and he balling. So that's money right there. And then you got to pay for somebody to watch your kids because nowadays people don't watch kids for free. I don't care if it's an auntie, if it's your grandparents, somebody wants something, right? So you losing money there. Take off for a dude that's acting funny. He showed you all the signs that he wasn't about nothing. He's acting a fool about paying $200 or $300 for a hotel room, but yet he's online flashing money. What do you think that is? Thank you, RC. Women like bums because they look good. And we like to see things. We see the money on the line, online. And she thinking she got the, I think, okay, maybe it's one or two things. Maybe she thought because he was flashing his money that he was going to trick off on her. So now she's disappointed because that's not the case. Before she landed, he talking about get you a room. I don't know. Let's see. But it gets worse than this. Like, this is nothing right here. This is nothing.
your response. Y'all, he kept fucking arguing. I couldn't believe it because I'm like, bro, like if you getting all this money and you got all this motion, all this shit going on, like $300 is nothing. So I'm like, if I book this hotel, you can't come. So that's what the fuck I did. I booked the hotel, and shout out to that Spirit flight attendant because yo, he stayed in that airport with me and found me a hotel. Y'all, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had nowhere to stay, like at all. But I booked that hotel, y'all, and I left that nigga on red. I stopped responding, and I just made it into a solo trip. But I still was just like mad because I trip like Atlanta cool. We used to do that for New Year's, but like just to go and spend that much money, it was just like I could have went somewhere else. Like that was kind of crazy. So me personally, I just feel like his lifestyle got to be kept because I done dealt with some big money niggas. Like I mean, rich niggas like that's running businesses to get legit money. I done dealt with a rapper. I'm not gonna say who the fuck he is because he is a big rapper that y'all listen to every single day. And niggas,
where he at? Where he at? Where Big Money at? You done dealt with who? Where is he? I keep telling y'all, your looks will get you in the door, but what's gonna keep you in the house? That means nothing. In order to get a bag or to get a physical bag or some money bag, whatever y'all call it, whatever y'all youngsters call it these days, in order to get that over and over again, y'all got to sleep with multiple men. Y'all got to trick off online over and over and over again. Okay, I got this rich nigga. Okay, I got this rich one. Okay, now I got this one. But ain't none of them securing you because it's more than just all of that. The wigs, the lashes, the makeup, the clothes, the attitude, the fake asses online. Like, it's more than that. It's getting old. It's getting real old. And y'all going to end up in a body bag because y'all going out here just using these men for their money. Some of them understand the game. They know, hey, I got money. I want to trick off on you. It's fair exchange, no robbery. But some of these men be really falling for y'all and y'all be out here playing these games. And it's not a joke. These dudes don't care no more. People used to be like, tuck their tail between their legs and keep it moving like, okay, that was another one, her loss type stuff. But some of these men be real sensitive. A lot of these men can't handle rejection or being taken advantage of. And the economy is all jacked up. You come to my house and you use me, take what you can and leave. I'm going to be mad. I'm getting back at it because I done spent my whole income tax check to trick off on you, and now I can't reach you. Oh, somebody paying. Somebody gonna pay for that. New York Nikki says she moved based on what she saw. She projected a gold digger image and she got treated as such. She should have been able to move herself. Facts. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. She acted just like a gold digger. He said, you acting like I'm gonna treat you like one, you know? Makes sense.
What money ain't complaining. They're not doing all that. Like, I'm telling you, they're not doing all that. Like, when you come see them, they have everything into play, everything booked, bitch, your itinerary set up, all that. Like, it ain't making sense. So to me, his life was just cat. And to be honest, I never really seen him go out and do nothing or anything like that. Like, he not in the mall blowing no money. Like, he ain't no 5-star restaurants. Like, he really don't be doing nothing. Like, he might go skate or something, but like other than that, like that nigga don't be really doing shit like with the money he's supposed to have. Like, he got all this motion. You would think he'd be tripping like something. Like, nah, he not doing none of that. So to me personally, I was kid. And I was just mad because I felt like, damn, like I flew here to see you and this happened. Never doing it again. And then his excuse was, well, you knew what I had going on and you still came. Nigga, you never told me not to come. When I checked in with you and we spoke, you told me to still come. It wasn't an issue. And you was going to get a sitter. Like, what? That don't even make sense. Like, make it make sense. I would have stayed the fuck home. I'm not that pressed to see no nigga. Like, bitch, you know, I get niggas. Like, what?
Apparently you are.
Correctional
Be
officer.
for real. I was just upset at the fact that you still allowed me to come or whatever like that, knowing that you was going to do that or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying he lying about getting his kid, because bitches do that. Like, bitches that know it's about.
She saw the signs though. Like, we could blame him for not being straight up front and then acting funny. Yes, for sure. He shouldn't have done that. But at the end of the day, ladies, we have to start taking responsibility for things that we see and feel and hear and all of that, right? If something in your spirit is saying, he acting funny, I might want to rethink this and not waste my time and my money. No, she didn't do that. In spite of that, in spite of the red flags, in spite of her intuition telling her something ain't right, she continued to go. So I'm sorry, but you're not a victim. You're not a victim. We gotta start holding each other accountable. You're not a victim. I'm sorry. No. You was going out there with bad intentions anyway. That's what you get. And RC, she did not learn a lesson. You gonna see. I told you it gets worse to worser.
Valentine's Day week or something going on and be like, oh yeah, you not I'm gonna stick him with the kid because I don't want him to be with no other bitch. So it do be like that, but still, like, come on, yo. Like, I don't live down the street. I live in another state. I flew there.
Cause I ain't got no TikTok, and they said a little bitch that just did a little TikTok story on. Look, for one, check this out. You only broke to a bitch that can't get nothing out of you.
All right, y'all. So this is his side of the story. He gonna tell something totally different. And I believe both of them. At the end of the day, I believe them both. From their vantage point of how things happen, I believe them both. They both just wrong. They both just young and dumb. Just young and dumb. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. I got a quick little story real quick, right? So I was supposed to go and meet somebody, right? Now, I hadn't talked to this person in probably like maybe 2 or 3 years. It had been a long time. We worked together years ago, right? We had a rapport, did a lot of traveling. That was like my ace, right? Like, we was real cool. He was a male. He was way higher ranking, so it would never, you know what I'm saying? But we were so cool that he even like stayed at my house a couple times, you know what I'm saying? Like, stayed over and stuff like that. When his dorm room, he was reserved, I was active duty, whatever thing. So anyways, he had to stay in my place or whatever, right? Open up my doors to him, fed him. Like, we were just cool. Like, did a lot of we traveled all over Europe together. Just a cool dude, right? Kind of lost touch, still kind of kept touch, but then something tragic happened last year, and then we kind of reconnected, right? And we had started talking, and then it kind of got a little flirtatious. Thank you for putting that fair use. We had started talking again and kind of got a little flirty or whatever, right? Now, he was saying that he comes out to where I be, right? And I'm like, all right, next time. And he was like, hey, next time you come down to where I live, thank you. next time you come down where I live or whatever, you already know you got a place to stay. I'm like, cool. And I'm thinking to myself, but I never go to that state, so there's no reason for me to ever, but okay, thanks for the invitation. Whatever. So anyways, we're still flirting, talking, whatever, back and forth or whatever. And he knew that I go to a certain, part of where I live out here. He knows that I travel out there. And so he was like, one day he said, hey, he goes, my job, because he travels a lot with his job. He was like, my job might have an opening for me to do a job out there. It would be nice to see you. And I was like, bet, heck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because mind you, it's been a while, right? So, and he's somebody that I knew and trusted in, you know what I'm saying? It was like no time had been missed between, that gap of time that we hadn't talked or whatever. So, we've been chatting or whatever. And literally like maybe a week and a half later after him saying that, he got an assignment out this way. And I was like, cool. Now, mind you, where his assignment is about 3 hours from me. But that 3 hour distance is someplace that I frequent every quarter anyway, right? So it was time for me to go out there and get my foodie fix anyways, right? So I was like, cool. I was like, all right, cool. Whatever, just give me the details or whatever. So I think he already had came, but he didn't mention anything, right? So that was my first sign. Like, okay, well, he said he was going to be here on Monday. Hopefully he'll make plans. But me, I'm not pushing it. I'm just waiting, right? I'm just being a lady. I'm not going to, of course, I'm anxious on the inside, like wondering, like, okay, is he going to hit me up? Whatever, like, are we still on kind of thing? But I let him do him or whatever. Meanwhile, we're still, chatting and talking and stuff like that. And so he finally mentions like, hey, I'm here, but I'm an hour east or whatever from where I thought I was going to be or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Not a problem. And so he was like, when do you think you can come? And I was like, well, I'm not sure. Or I said, well, let me know the days that you want me to come. And then I will arrange, for a sitter or whatever. And then I'll come and drive. And he was like, okay. He was like, well, how far are you from here? Because I had mentioned another friend that lives out that way. I said, maybe all of us can hang out or whatever, right? And so he was like, well, that person lives an hour from where I'm at. And how far are you coming? And I was like, oh, I'm about 3 hours away. And he said, this is what he said. This was a turning point. He said something to the fact of, oh my gosh, you're driving 3 hours? I wouldn't drive that far to come see you. But he said it was in a way that was kind of like sarcastic, but and playful in a way, but I took it just the way it came out of my mouth, basically, and I was like, what? I was like, so if you were me, you wouldn't travel that. I didn't tell him, I didn't say, hey, I come out that way, and I could have been thirsty and be like, look, it's not a big deal. Like I go out to DC, you know what I'm saying? Every 3 months anyway, it's not a big deal. I was coming that way anyways. I didn't do none of that. I didn't even let him know that I come out that way that often. I was just like, you would. So if you were me, you wouldn't come and see me if it were the other way around. Bet. And I haven't talked to him since. I mean, we still chat here and there, friendly wise, but the flirting, all of that stopped. Of course, I didn't end up going, because he was just like, so what happened? Like, like in the middle of his week of being there. And I just had to let him know. I'm like, well, I'm going to just be straight up with you, because I'm a straight up kind of person. Like, I don't like to harbor anything. If I have an issue with somebody, I put it on the table and I get it out there. That way we can talk about it, squash it, and be done, right? Depending on what it is and who the person is. But, and I just told him straight up, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I said, you basically made it seem like if you were me, you wouldn't drive 3 hours to come see me. And that hurt my feelings. And that lets me know that I don't need to be going out there to see you. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But he respected it, But yeah, when they give you signs and they show you in more ways than one, don't put yourself out there, because you'll look like a fool.
None. You get what I'm saying? If you too thirsty to get next to me, right? Like more than I'm trying to get next to you, then it ain't nothing. You feel me? So like all that extra shit, broke bitch, miss me with all that. I'm in my own shit. This is my career. You know what I'm saying? My name on all this shit. This mine. You feel me? From the cribs to the cars, everything mine. You feel me? Yo, thirsty ass. That's what you get. Real life. That's what you get.
I'm sorry to quit interrupting, but is he attractive to y'all? Doesn't he look like a middle schooler? He looks like a middle schooler. It got to be the money. Got to be the money. And she's the whole correctional officer. He looked like he's still in middle school. She looked like a grown-ass woman with kids.
That'll show you. Stop trying to get over strangers. Real life, though. Bitch, you lost your mind. What the fuck wrong with you, ho? And this is the last thing that I'm gonna say for real. The shit really funny as hell for real. I'm not even gonna say the damn girl name because she's just too old to even be doing the shit she's doing. Look, if I don't send for you, right, you can't come to my crib. It ain't none of that going on. The last time a bitch then flew out and all this extra shit, I leave the crib full of sex. The bitch steal go yard bags. Phone them know I'm not lying about none of this. If you know, you know. You get what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of that. Look, check this out. If you want to be on some thirsty shit, if you done got catfished by a page that ain't me for real, sweetheart, that is on you. Y'all need to stop trying to get up with strangers. No cap. Like, if I don't send for you for real, leave it at that, though. All this other shit you got going on, Miss Lady, you just probably mad as hell that I really.
So he just he didn't send for her. She paid for her own ticket. She paid for her own ticket. And now he's online talking mess about her. He claiming that she got catfished by somebody else. I think he was talking to her for real, and just changed his mind for whatever reason. But now he's online acting like he don't know her and he didn't send for her. Embarrassing.
Ain't get next to you for real. Like, you didn't see me in person, no cap. Like, so you really was already thinking I'm catfishing you type shit, you feel me? Because I'm giving you a cold shoulder, but sweetheart, it ain't nothing though. Like, just leave it at that though. Like, what the fuck? Don't try to make no TikTok stories and all this. What I was gonna say, I'm finna get rid. I probably got a screen record the TikTok or something, but like, don't get it misconstrued. Cause look, right, I love older women, right? Ain't nothing wrong with no older woman. I really only like fucking with older women, or at least the ones that's older than me, right? You get what I'm saying? But when you too fucking thirsty, you scare me. I ain't gonna lie, you scare me. I got PTSD.
Why is everybody putting up with ads like it's 2010? Like, it's 2025, guys. Just use Pi. This
I should make y'all suffer through this damn ad. Just kidding.
Some shit, you feel me? So just leave me alone.
Y'all ask no story time because I don't have no TikTok. So, like, whatever narrative you want to run with, you want to run with. Let me just say this though: I didn't fly nobody out. It wasn't no fucking argument about no $300 hotel room. That's just cap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker really mad that they didn't see me. They didn't link me. They didn't get fucked like how they wanted to. You get what I'm saying? So, like, beat it, Joe. Put some bells on your shoes and walk it how you talking, sweetheart.
One thing about me, I ain't never been delusional in my motherfucking life. If I say I'm fucking with a nigga or I'm talking to a nigga or trying to fuck with a nigga, that nigga trying to fuck with me too. Like, make it make sense. Like, be for real. How the fuck did I know all this about you, your kid? I know the daughter name and everything. The daughter name, how old you is, when her birthday is, when your birthday is, where you live at, where you came from. Like, if I'm a complete stranger, how the fuck do I know all that? I live in New Jersey. I don't know nobody from Chicago. I don't know nobody from Atlanta at all. The fuck, I was there for you. But again, messages and DMs and all that shit, other shit don't lie. Even when I was leaving Atlanta or whatever, you knew my flight was in the morning time, you called my phone. I got that screenshotted too. Like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm not doing this. And oh, baby, I'm 31 years old and I look good as fuck. And I step, my motion real. Fuck is you talking about? Like, come on. Like I said, real niggas ain't crying over $300. And that's just it. Say what the fuck you want to say.
Why you messing with a YN anyway?
Thirsty?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because, baby, I got a lot of water downstairs. Too much of it. I ain't never been thirsty at all. But to let y'all know how that whole thing started, I came across the page on my Explore page. This was like November. And I'm like, damn, you fired your page. So he wrote back fast as hell, like, oh yeah, I'm real. Thank you. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I unfollowed him because it was giving fake. So he like, damn, you unfollow me quick. I'm like, yeah, because it's giving fake page. He like, nah, my page got disabled. Everybody think that. Left for that dead. Ain't talked to him. I was in Bahamas again with my kids. I posted the video. I could put the video on this bitch. And he was like, need that. Need you. And I'm like, I've been trying to give you me. Send me a voiceover. Oh, back in November, they blocked me from this page too, etc. You gonna give me a number or what? But I'm thirsty. You asked for my motherfucking number. You was in my motherfucking damn trying to talk to me. I just gave you a compliment.
But you paid for a ticket to go out there.
This the same nigga, but that was on my line, mad because I wasn't responding fast enough. Or whenever you told me to FaceTime, I was taking 3-4 hours, and you like, oh, I'ma just fall back because the energy not reciprocated. You forgot that? But I'm thirsty. Then you told me you only fuck with older girls my age and 40s. So now I'm old. Which one is it? I'm confused.
Right.
Like, be for real. I don't understand why you lying. I didn't say nothing bad about you. I told the truth. You was gonna pick me up. You was gonna see me. The hotel was the problem. It wasn't about you linking me with the hotel stay. That was the problem, the hotel stay. Now the next day I did say, oh, well, I'm already here. We might just meet each other. But of course we still was arguing. I did it. I stopped texting you. I didn't respond. You were still watching all my shit. And then when it was time for me to go get on my flight, bitch, you called my phone. I got to screenshot it. What are you talking about?
Waking up sad because a bitch can't fuck with me. I know a hoe that's Prince. Waking up.
Just, she doesn't even look like she should come near you. She isn't cute. Where she at? Who did this?
There was another part, you guys, where she's literally begging
all about Jay.
To meet
all
with
about Jay.
Where is it? It gets worse.
But something had happened with him too. But anyway.
Oh.
I was trying to stay up, but
check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
I just really wanted to meet you, I guess.
So look, she starts texting him after she gets back home, and she's, I guess, not mad anymore because he ghosted her and treated her funny and didn't want to pay for a hotel room. She starts texting him, and look at what this is when I was done. I said, you know what? We're doomed. We're doomed because this woman has absolutely no shame, no self-worth, no nothing. Just desperation. Watch this. This is her texting him.
But I learned shit from every situation. That's why I'm so calm. I really just hate wasting my time for real. I think anybody would. When I go home, we probably never talk again. I know you probably don't care, but I really have faith in this whole thing crazy. And it's not even your fault you did what you were supposed to do. But I ain't gonna never forget this. And she said later on that morning, about an hour later, she said, I thought about it and I do want to meet you. Are you going to link me? Can you still get a sitter? I mean, for real. Bro. She posted some throat spray and ice drops breath strips. She was ready to get that Glock 3000. This the only pick you need. You get it? She said, I got the picture, but I don't know what that is. She said, really? That's sore throat spray and breath strips. He said, you got a sore throat? Babe, that was for me to give you head. Oh my God, the sore throat numbs your throat. So yo, that is wow. She got the equate kind too, baller.
She one of the motherfuckers that like to abuse her authority. You know, I ain't got no TikTok, so I can't get up on there. I can't go respond to no comments. I can't go back and make another video like, oh yeah, responsive to what she said. You feel me? I only got Instagram. But like the messages that she posting on her TikTok is from Instagram. You get what I'm saying? Like, man, the conversation, none of this shit went on during no Instagram messages. Like, you tried to talk to me and I was like, all right, I raised you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. The conversation transport over to the cell phones. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's when we texting and shit. Like, man, everything was cool. Now, I want y'all to ask her exactly when did I start acting funny towards her. I didn't start acting funny towards her because of no fucking hotel or no shit like that. Man, just look, me and the girl was texting, right? So she really want to get on this catfish.
Oh, so now he admit now he was texting her. Now he was texting her. Remember, first he said, "Oh, she was on there talking to a catfish the whole time. It wasn't me. If I send for you, I send for you." So now he admitting that he is. So listen, he just might be a liar. Robert says, "I need a dummy like her." Exactly. But do you guys see this? He is literally in the act of ghosting her, not treating her right, got her flown all the way to a whole nother state, and she's still sending pics talking about, "I'm disappointed, but I still want to see you. Here's a picture of this stuff that's going to make it real fun in the bedroom." Like, desperate. Don't ever be that desperate, ladies, because guess what? They're going to put it on the internet and make you look like a fool, just like this guy. We almost done with this.
Shit, and it's finna really throw, like, I'm finna just put it all out there on the table. I FaceTime the girl. No, she FaceTime me Thursday. Man, this is our first time getting on FaceTime. She looked at nothing like her pictures at all. So I'm trying to hurry up and get off the phone at this point. You get what I'm saying?
Baby on the floor, they said they hit him with a bomb, and they kidding with his mom, and I'm used to seeing that.
No messages. Baby, you good? I'm not tripping. I don't do that, but I mean, we both know how the problem could be solved. You're right. I hate small talk. Let me know when you're in Atlanta. She said that.
I want to buy your house. I can.
Come by my house, please.
That's crazy. Okay. So this is before he says, "You said it. Only way we can be resolved is by seeing each other." She says, "Yes, I agree. So when I'm in Atlanta, I'll hit you like I'm ever just in Atlanta." So she booked her flight. Like, bro, stop.
He read like he in elementary school. I can't look any more of that one. But y'all get the point. When I watched this a couple weeks ago, I had way more smoke for her. Like, my energy level was on 1,000 and I could go for days, but I'm not as mad anymore. I'm not as embarrassed for her as before. So I'm over it at this point. I do want to touch on another video. I had saved it, I thought, in my watch later. But every time I go to my watch later, it's not there. And I can't remember the guy's name. Let me see. Since my son ain't called yet. But yeah, we can't be, it has to stop. This is just, it's not right. Ladies, value yourselves. Thunder, I just played a video of a young lady who got flued out. Well, she ended up flying herself out. And the guy ghosted her when she got there. But then she further embarrasses herself by going on TikTok and making a story about it. And then he came back and posted all of their messages and things like that and making her look even worse. And she was basically begging for the eggplant. Begging for it. And it just made her look bad. But my whole point is that, you know, when women stoop that low, they really make it hard for a man to take a lot of women seriously, in my opinion. Because there's always one like that around the corner. It's 10 304s around the corner ready to just spread it. And so why would a man take another woman seriously and court her and date her and treat her good if he could just go around the corner and get one of them? I mean, y'all, and then that's the thing. When the 304s settle down and they really want a man, then they're going to be out here mad at the other 304s that they didn't taught to be just like them. Because they're going to be like, where are the good men? Oh, well, he's over there with her because she's just spreading it open. She not making him do nothing for her. She not making him treat her good. She not making him take her to dinner. She not making him provide. She not making him do nothing. Of course he gonna go over there because it's easy. Period. Where is that guy at? There's a guy video that I wanted to go over. I guess this is just a continuation of the month of love, y'all. Thunder says, "Oh, hell no." True, if that's all she's offering, what makes her different from all? Exactly. If that's all you offering, that's all you gonna get. And RC said, "I need a dummy like you. Trust me, you got plenty of them. There's plenty of them willing to fly themselves out." I'll be in your chat. I can't find that guy's video, and I can't think of his name, but he had a really good video talking about when a man, this is how you know a man really loves a woman. Oh wait, maybe let me type that in. How you know he loves, oh, that's gonna be a, and I can't think of his name. I could see his face. What was his name? It's like with a K, KZL or something. I don't know. Did I leave a comment under there? Hey, Lady Di. Let me go to my history on here. Let me go to my troll page. My troll page. But what do you guys think about the video that I just showed? Was the guy wrong for treating her that way, since she was just going out there for money anyway? And was she wrong for expecting him to do more than what he did? I thought I was just going to get off after that. That's why. Or else I would have had this one ready. I can't find it. Maybe it's not meant to be. Yeah, because I'm all the way in February and I don't see it on here. Don't I say the fact that she went to him and she paid for her own flight? The smart thing to do would have been to have a backup plan and go see the city like a weekend getaway. Well, that's the thing. I believe she did do that. She said that she ended up like taking herself out to dinner and stuff. And she just kind of did some sightseeing on her own. And somebody hooked her up with, a hotel and stuff, I guess, at a cool spot. So she ended up doing that, essentially. But yeah, with somebody you don't know, I think it would be best to get, like you said, have a backup plan, at least know somebody out there too, just in case something happened to you, right? Like you need to know, somebody need to know who you are, who are you with while you're there. Hey RC, did you check? I just saw this video with 50 Cent. The BBC, they interviewed him, I think it was like 9 years ago. It's titled 50 Cent on the Business of Fear. So type in BBC, and then it says 50 Cent on the Business of Fear. That was a really good interview. It was really short. It was like 10 minutes long, but I just came across that recently. Where is that guy? I literally just watched his video and it is not popping up. This is annoying. That Thomason guy pops up. He's a young guy with a whiteboard trying to teach people what women want and don't want. It's hilarious. He's a good teacher though. But I can't. Oh, I found him. Okay. So man seeking where this might be. Conscious Kirk Castle is his name. Let me see if I can find the other video of him. Was it on a live? Yeah, it's not showing it to me. I found the guy, but I can't find it. Robert says, I don't have the heart to treat people that way. Well, that's good to know. Good for you, Robert C. Edson. I would hope not. But it does happen. Men be treating women like shit. This is really weird. Thunder says, then what did she think would happen when she put it on? Yeah, because everybody claps back, right? We don't just let you talk mess and it go. Everybody don't have that that spirit of humility. Okay. Some people like to clap back. Me, I'm learning. There have been so many times where I wanted to just oof. Y'all have no idea how many times I've been tested on this internet with people I've met on this very app. It's wild. It's so wild. But you know what? The Most High continues to bless me because I keep my mouth shut. Things that I want to say, you guys have no idea what I be thinking in this little head. But yeah, you taking a risk when you put stuff online. Do she think that victimhood was a superpower and she would get sympathy? I think so. Because all of her friends feel the same way. All of them doing the same stuff. So yeah, I'm sure I bet you she had a lot of people on there talking mess along with her. Let me just type him in. Conscious Kirk Cazell. Lady Di, I think I sent that to you, didn't I? Did I email it or text you? Oh, I had to clear out all of my text messages because it was a damn it. It's all right. Let me see.
Stop with all the effing lying. She said, I booked it. My cousin got me scared. She's screaming, you don't even know him. What she think I'm gonna do to you or something? She said, LOL, yeah. She telling me stories of people going to see people and one girl, a guy cut her body into pieces, all that crazy stuff. Yeah.
Facts. It happens. Happens all the time. But people be thinking fat meat ain't grease and that it can't happen to them, but it can. Thunder says, hold on. Sorry. Lady Diane says, I'm so glad I never did mess like that or like her for a man. If I were in the market to date, this won't be the way I do it. Lord have mercy. Yeah, this is how they're doing it now. This is how they're doing it. But you know what? When I watch those gold diggers, I got a video that I did talking about gold diggers Because London's Way, he does gold digger pranks, and you should see the stuff and the level that these gold diggers stoop to. And the premise of that video was that you never know what you're going to get. And these women are out here stooping low just to get the bag for that night or for that moment. And you're going to have to continue doing it over and over and over again, you know? And you don't know where you're going to end up, because there was a young lady who used the guy and he got tired of it. He was handicapped. He thought they were more than what they were, and he ended up killing her. And do you know what he did with her body? He was in a wheelchair. They used to get high together, right? And but she was using him. He got tired. He drug her body. He had his little electric wheelchair, had her in the body bag, and you could see the CCTV cam of him dragging her body down a New York street and parked her right there with the rest of the trash. Treated her like trash, because these women are out here using these men. But the level that they'll go to practically begging to take them back somewhere so they can do something strange for a piece of change. It's ridiculous. It's sad. It's disgusting. I feel really bad for these girls, and it just makes me think, like, who raised you, who influenced you, who didn't influence you. It's a really sad sight to see, but that's where we're headed. Thunder says, when I was a younger man, a strange, exotic, dark-skinned woman had my nose open wide like the Mississippi Delta. I flew out to a country I knew nothing about, barely spoke the language, but it went great. That's good for you. That's good that it went great. Glad she didn't chop you up and boil your bones and make voodoo dolls out you. I'm glad you're still here to tell the story, Thunder. Robert says, did you see what Dr. Umar's daughter said about him? I saw a clip about it, but not the whole thing. Baba Rashan was talking about it, and he was playing some of the audio. I listened to a couple of minutes where she was saying she never had a relationship with her dad. What else was she saying? There we go. What else was she saying? I know she was saying, I never had a relationship with my dad, and that she tried to meet up with him and he kind of like denied her or something like that. That's unfortunate. There's another guy that I used to watch, Lennon Honor. He is hilarious. He'd been on Umar's ass for years. For years, he'd been covering Umar Johnson, and he got all the information. He's actually building his own like little documentary of the timeline from when Umar started to where we are now. And it goes all the way back to like 2005 of when Umar really started like trying to get things up and running. But he's documenting everything. And he had a video last night. I did not watch it because I go in and out. I'll watch it for a little bit, maybe a couple of days, and then I'll come back or whatever, something juicy happened. But he was saying that Umar supposedly has three daughters, 3 kids out there that he ain't taking care of. But it's unfortunate, and that's just really the way it is. But it's, you can't push for one thing and then not be the example of it. So it is very sad to see and hear. And I believe her because he don't really talk about it. Like, you ain't seen, I haven't seen him visit his daughter or talk about her. So I kind of I believe her. I don't know what. I got to believe her, right? I don't know. That's sad. But with the research that I'm doing, over 70% of households are single parent, and 80% of those homes are of women raising children. And I want to say, what did it say? 60%, no, 40% of those homes by the women, there's more than one child in the home. So, you know, when you have a lack of parenting and a lack of villagehood, if you will, this is what we get. This is what we get. I was watching Ashley, what's Ashley's name? I don't know, but she's like a beauty guru, and she does, you know, like her own little dating show, kind of like Kendra. She's like the knockoff Kendra, but she's more about opulence, luxury, and the soft life, right, for women. So she teaches women how to level up. And one girl came on there and she was saying, now this girl's very well spoken. You could tell she grew up, you know, in, you know, with privilege, and she had a really good job. And she was asked, I can't remember what she was asking Ashley specifically, but Ashley asked her about like her dating life, and she said, "Oh no, I'm good. I don't need to date because I got a man." And that's like, "Oh, okay. Well, what does he do? What, you know?" And she said, "He's in prison." But she said it so proudly. She was like, "Oh, actually, he is so fine. Oh, he's so fine." She goes, "Now I knew him before he went in." And mind you, she was only 21, talking about a man in prison and how she's looking forward to when he gets out, how they're gonna. But he already has 2 children from 2 other women, and so of course Ashley had to. No, you know. And she told him, "Hey, let's wait till you get out of prison, and then we'll get married." And then I had to leave my comment of when my ex, I talk about him all the time, God rest his soul. He was locked up for 20 years. He was my very first love, the very first guy that proposed to me. And he went to jail, did some crazy things during this escapade, and ended up getting 50 something years. But in California, you only have to serve 20%, right? So 20% of that time was 20 years. He did exactly 20 years. But anyways, when he went to jail, his mother would call me at work and be like, "Just marry the boy," because she still wanted him to feel like he had somebody on his side. And I told my mama, now, mind you, I'm already a grown woman living on my own. Me and him tried living together, didn't work because he was cheating and wouldn't come home. And he did that 2 times. And I said, I can't do this. So then I left and went up to LA. He stayed in San Diego. And then we would visit back and forth, right? So he was down there. I was here, up there. And I moved out of my mama's house, got my own place. A studio apartment cost me $400 a month, y'all. This was back in 2000. 1999, 2000, right? $400 a month. So I'm doing my own little thugtos or whatever. But my mama still has some control over me now. Okay. So I told my mama, I said, "Ma, his mom keeps calling me. She wants me to marry him." My mama said, "Over my dead body." She said, "Ain't no way." She said, "Now, do you think if she had a daughter, she would want her daughter marrying a nigga in jail?" I don't think so. Not on my watch. That's one thing you not gonna do. And my mom would talk to me for like a month straight. "You staying here. You're not going down there. You're not going to see him yet." Just like my mama was for real. And I thank my mom to this day. Because my dumb ass would have did it. Like if I didn't have the influence of my mother and my grandmother, I would have did it. Because I loved him. I loved him. Thunder said, "I had the time of my life for taking that risk. Fortune favors the bold." Okay. Yo. Where did I see that? Fortune favors the bold. I saw it on a reality show. The guy had it tattooed on him. Fortune favors the bold. I know that's right. You got to take risks, right? I saw that story. It's so true. He did that to her. Yeah. First thing I did for safety was go to the local store, buy a pair of socks and a bar of Irish Springs, if you know what I mean. Little weapon. Then it says I was in the Caribbean. Oh, okay. And it was one of the greatest times of my life. I was down wearing my white linen suit, Panama hat, pinky ring. And no, I was not Nate from that. I'm in the Nate. All right, too funny. That sounds fun. Yeah, sometimes you got to take risks and see what happens, you know? Everybody's not that bold. Everybody's not that, you know, but you got to use discernment. You know what I'm saying? You got to use wisdom, knowledge, and common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, them spidey senses are there for a reason. God will tell you, you know, when something ain't right. If it don't feel right, don't go. You know? But this girl on this video, she sounded like she was with the shits. My first apartment was $275 a month, electric bill $23 a month, gas $7. It'll never be like that again. It won't. It won't. That's unfortunate too. Man, I missed that little studio apartment too. It had a little partition from the living room to the bedroom, and it was my first place. And I was staying with my mom, but my mom was nickel and diming me out of it, and I was sharing a room with my little brother, right? But my mom was nickel and dime. I was paying half the rent and half of everything else. And then on top of that, I need $10. I need $30. I was like, man, forget this. I ain't saving nothing here. You nickel and diming me, and I got to share with this rugrat. I'm out of here. So I struggled, and I had to decide between either cable or food. What you think I decided? Food. So I had a little TV. And I had a crate, like you know, the egg crates, you know, it was black crate, plastic crate. And I set the TV on. My grandmother went to Pier 1 and bought me a Papasan chair. So I had a Papasan chair and then my TV on the crate. And that was it for the living room. And then I had a bedroom, not in my bedroom, I had a box spring and a mattress, no headboard, okay? No headboard. And I had a nightstand that was made out of cardboard. It was a cardboard nightstand with like a floral print. And it was just paper, you know, just a cardboard. And I used the closet because the closet had a little space where you saw all of my shirts and stuff like that. I was folded into that. And I think I used part of my nightstand for my underwears and stuff like that. But yeah, I was poor. I mean, I was struggling. I think I was making like $700 every 2 weeks. So 400 went to rent. And then I had a car payment that was 150, and then insurance that was like less than 100. You know, but by the time I paid for gas and food and just surviving, I didn't have no money left, really. It was just, I mean, I was really check to check to check. And I remember this one guy named Oscar, an older Mexican dude who used to flirt with me, old married pervert guy, right? But he used to drop wisdom on me all the time, right? And I remember telling him, like, man, I've been here a year. I can't make it. Like, I'm really struggling. And I remember he had a green Toyota Tundra. And I remember we were in the parking lot and we were talking behind his truck. And he was like, you know, he said, I see you. You do good work, Mo. You need to just go in there and just tell her, you know, tell him you want the raise. Tell him you deserve it. I know you deserve it. Whatever, right? Actually, he didn't have an accent. Why am I even making Oscar sound like that? Oscar didn't have an accent. He admitted he from Cali all day. He was a smooth dude, older Mexican dude with kind of long hair. And he was like, just go ask him. He was like, so he gave me a game plan. He said, you go in. He goes, he said, do you come to work on time? I said, yeah. I said, I'm doing a lot better on that. I ain't coming late no more. I've been on time all the time for 6 months. And he's like, okay, cool. He goes, and so he was just going through all the things that I could use to sell myself. So he said, you can go in there, you're going to say this, that you've been doing this, you've been doing that, you're doing that, and you want $1 per hour raise. And I was so nervous. I was, crying and my stomach, whatever. And I was just like, so I told Gail, I was like, hey, can I talk to you? And she was like, Not today. Let's talk. We'll talk tomorrow. I'll make time for you tomorrow. She made time for me, Gail. Love that lady. She taught me some very valuable lessons. I talked about Gail when I was on Full Drinking and Half Thinking podcast. But I went in there and I just said exactly what Oscar told me to say. And she sat there and she looked at me. She was like, She said, okay. She was like, I got you. And she gave it to me. And there was $1 more an hour. And it made such a difference, but it still wasn't enough for me to feel like, like I was doing something or that I was saving or, you know what I'm saying? And there was really no more mobility in the job. So I had to go. But yeah. Good old times. Good old times. How did we get there? My bad. What year was that, Thunder? $275 a month. My mom said her first apartment was a 2-bedroom. This is in San Diego for $100. She said her rent was $200, 2-bedroom. She said, and I remember when she came to know, she said, dang, my first apartment was 3 times as big as this. And it was only $100. But that was back in 1978, 79, 1980. I was able to work a part-time job and still able to manage on my own. Nice. I had milk crates all over the place, a floor model TV and a VCR. See, I didn't have a VCR. All I had was just the TV. No cable. I think I had the old school rabbit ear antennas. Horrible. I had no car. I had feet Borghinis, right? And that's the thing too. I used to walk all the time too, because my job wasn't really walking distance. I used to catch the bus down to Ventura Boulevard. And when I finally got my car, my grandpa gave me the down payment for my car. And when I got my car, I made sure that, I gave people at my job rides and stuff like that if they needed a ride. Because, what's crazy? Literally, soon as I got my car, swear to God, maybe like 3 weeks later, the buses went on strike. And I said, look at God. I said, God be looking out for you, even when I don't deserve it. God always looking out for me. 3 weeks after I got my car, it was a white Toyota Tercel. Buses went on strike. So I was able to help out a couple of my coworkers and pick them up along the way. Oh, I can't talk to you, Coach Tyrone. But yeah, that was funny. Feet Borghinis. But yeah. Memories. But yeah, don't be marrying no jailbirds. That's how we got there. I started reminiscing about my first apartment and my mama and them, and that's where we got to. Let me see if I can find something on here real quick. It's 3:47. There's still 4 people on the live. What y'all want to talk about? I like to come on, talk about one specific thing, and then hop on off. But since my son ain't called me yet. Here's the thing, though. I feel like if I get out of this page, it's going to end up doing something stupid. But let me just try. View tab, YouTube stream. Great memories, yeah. Well, what year was that, Thunder? You got to tell me that your apartment was $275. Here we go. Let me see. This guy's name was Conscious Kel. Maybe we'll watch something new from him. Sorry, y'all. I got that Nicorette. I'm still on my smoke-free journey. It has been hell. But you know what's crazy? not as hard as I thought it would be. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. It hasn't been as hard as and I think it's because I'm not drinking anymore. I think that's what made it easier to quit. At first it was harder to quit because I felt like since I ain't drinking, I deserve to be able to smoke, right? Like, I need to have these vices. I should be able to screw. I should be able to smoke. I should be able to cuss. I should be able to, I ain't drinking no more, right? So eventually I cut out all of those things. You know, the screwing, that's been gone since I've been alcohol free. And then 3 years later, I'm just now getting to the smoking thing. I'm still working on my cursing. I'm getting better though. But the smoking thing, for the longest, I felt like I deserved to have a cigarette. I deserved to smoke. I deserve, you know what I'm saying? Because I cut out that one big negative thing in my life, when really that's not true. And the thing is that the more you do away with bad habits and bad things, the things that are still lingering, it's like the effects of it take over your body even stronger. Like, every time I smoked, I felt it in my body. Like, it was like, bitch, you about to die if you don't stop. And I'm gonna tell you right now, vaping is worse than cigarettes, people. I'm gonna tell you. So I even contemplate, well, let me just go back to cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? F it. But that's not gonna work. Then I said that particular apartment was I was in late 90s. Okay, maybe that was my first apartment, but I was used to townhomes. Yeah, we grew up in townhomes mostly too. Yeah. What I have right now I own is a townhouse. But I promise you, the next place I get, like not my forever home, because I don't really believe in forever homes, but I do believe. But I think that the next place I get is going to be a flat. I'm not doing these stairs. I'm getting too old. I'm getting too old. All right, let's see what Conscious Kel talking about. If I could find the one video. These are shorts. This one, I feel like he just did it and it was so good. And I sent it to Lady Di. If you're still here, what was the title of that one that I sent you? A Man Knows Who His Heart Belongs To? Maybe it's that one. Let's play this one, y'all.
Listen, a man knows who his heart belongs to. Let me say that again. A man knows who his heart belongs to. So you can cook his golden hen on a platinum stove in diamond grease. Or you can ride his pee-pee from left to right, front to back, back flip and front flip, reverse grip. If it ain't you, it ain't you.
Ain't you.
And this is why some of y'all will never be appreciated, never be loved, and never be happy. Because you are trying to do more of the things that he already don't appreciate. And no matter what you do, if it ain't you, it ain't you. And one thing about it, they will never tell you that. They just have you work harder and harder to be in a place where you hope that it becomes you one day. And the more you try, is the less you feel about yourself. But I'm telling you all, a man already knows where his heart belongs. And if it ain't with you, it ain't with you.
Damn. Love it. Is that true? Is that true, y'all? That man will have you jumping through hoops, doing all the things. Whole time he know you ain't the one. What's up with that? Why y'all do that? Who has his or her heart? How to tell? Was it this one? This is the one, y'all.
You know, There's a way to find out who does your man's heart belong to.
This is it.
Or who does your woman's heart?
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
I made a video the other day and I was talking about his heart must belong to you. And sometimes if his heart ain't belong to you, he's not going to be right. He's not going to act right. He's not going to behave right. He's not going to treat you right. He's not going to respect you right. And vice versa. If a woman's heart ain't with him or with her man, doesn't matter what he does, what he gives her, what he does for her, doesn't matter. But there's a way how you find out where their heart or who their heart belongs to. And this is not for everybody. Some of you are going to get mad at me for saying this. Some of y'all ain't going to agree because of your own personal experiences. But listen, there's a way to find out who your man's heart belongs to and who your woman's heart belongs to. And when I tell you this right here, don't get mad at me. Look and see who that man talks about the most, that woman he talks about the most. And when he talks about her, it sounds like he hates her. He can't stand her. He despises her. She makes him sick. That's the one. That's the one his heart is with still. That's the one. That's that one right there. When you hear a man talking bad about his ex, and only that one ex, and just going off and on her, and talking bad about her to you, and every time something is, that's the one. That's where his heart is. Because if his heart is not there, why is so much emotions there? If his heart is not there, why is so much anger there? If his heart ain't there, why the hell is she still controlling how he feels? Especially when he's with you. He's with you and you can't make him feel good because she makes him feel angry and miserable and pissed off. Pay attention. The same thing about a woman. You want to know where her heart is? Look and see which baby daddy or which ex-husband, which one she can't stand the most, which one causes her all these feelings and emotions, the one that she can't stand. She hates him. That's the one. She can't move on. She ain't moved on to you yet. And vice versa. He ain't moved on to you yet. The one who has their heart is the one who they hate the most. And unfortunately, there's so much emotions and feelings there, all feelings and all experiences that they cannot move to you. No matter what you do, no matter how much you give them, no matter what you do for them, they cannot move on to you. They cannot experience you because they are only experiencing their ex. So seriously, if you want to know who your man's or woman's heart belongs to, look at the one they hate the most, the one they talk about the most, the one they despise the most, the one that they can't stand to be around, they can't stand. That's the one. They trigger them so much. Only a person that you love can trigger you that much. But you instead they pretend to hate them so that you can feel good about them. They pretend that, oh man, I can't stand it, just because they wanted you to feel safe. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Oh, trust me, I would never do it again. As soon as they come back, they're gone. Their heart is still there. I'm telling you, if their heart wasn't there, they won't feel that much pain. They won't feel that much anger. They won't feel that much, all these emotions. They won't feel that sick inside every time it's them. That's the one. That's where their heart belongs. Pay attention to your partners, to how they speak about their ex. If they will just keep bashing that same person over and over and over, understand there's some things that's still there that is not finished. It ain't finished. It ain't going to be finished anytime soon. It's too much feelings there. A lot of us have so much feelings involved. And to be honest, let's be honest. Some of you, your heart is still with your exes or that previous ex before this last one. You know why? Because you haven't moved on. And that's why a lot of times, no matter which relationship that you try to be in, you can't be in it. You can't enter a new relationship because your heart is still, you are still bitter, you are still angry because that person is controlling you from the outside still. If a person could evoke that much emotion and feeling in you, they're controlling you. You have no chance. Nobody has a chance with you because you keep. So when you understand this, listen, look and see what your partner, look and see how they talk about their ex. This is why I'm saying, man, be careful about when you meet somebody and they just keep dissing and demeaning and belittling their ex. Pay attention because you might be surprised. That's where their heart still is. So don't feel good that they're bashing their ex. Don't feel good that they hate their ex because you hate them too and you're scared that they might just take them from you. What you got to do, be more aware. Their heart is still with them people. I'm just saying, tell me what you think.
Okay. This is actually the one, but we're going to discuss that one real quick because I want to know how the men feel about that. Is he telling the truth or is he just pandering?
And they can't get it back.
Is he just pandering to women? Thunder says the crazy part was I had a neighbor that I never saw his face, only the back of his head. So I see him walking into his apartment and I waited for him to turn around and close the door. Nope, closed it behind. For me, oh, okay, you're talking about when you lived in townhomes. Okay. Yeah, people don't really, it's different now. Thunder says, for me, yes, a man knows when he's ready. And as far as making or letting her jump through hoops, he is wrong. Okay, so that's not true. Men don't allow women to just keep doing and doing and doing. I was under the impression that they would. I don't stick around long enough to let it get to that point. Like, you know, I've grown enough now to know when it's just not going to work and then I cut it off. If I see I'm doing way more and it's not reciprocated here, then, you know, I'm out. I used to give it months and months and months. But now, the last one was 6 months. The one before that, 2 months. So I kind of got it together, then I kind of slid back because just the state that I was in. But yeah, he said there's some truth to it. I think so. I think you guys be knowing like soon, like when a person is the one, right? What would you guys say is like the soonest you know when a lady is your one? I heard a man say by the third date, I know, you know, this is going to be my wife, or at least this is what they said about the wives that they were with at that point in time. They said they knew within like the third date or the third time meeting them, she was the one, you know. But I do know for a fact that men will waste your time. Women will too. Women will waste your time too. Knowing good as well, she's still over here messing with such and such and such and such. And she'll waste your time, but men do waste women's time. So we ain't gonna act like that don't happen, Thunder. Then it says, he explained it's like it's a troll that's obsessed with someone. They talk about you because they can't talk to you. That's true. Because that happened to me with the last guy. He would talk about his ex all the night. Y'all notice I don't get on here talking about my baby daddy. So you know I'm good. Gucci. But some people are still very, very hurt from their past relationships and they still have the same fire for that person, whether it be good or bad, because they say it's a thin line between love and hate, right? So if it's such a thin line, right now he's talking like he hate her, but really, if he had the chance, he would be right back with her. And what y'all think happened with my last guy who was talking mess about his baby mama? They ended up back together. I mean, I don't know if they're together, but him being with her in a particular time is what ended our tryst, if you will. The crazy part is when it happens, a voice in your mind goes, this is her. She's the one. Ah, okay. Thunder, are you married? Have you ever been married? Have you ever settled down? You kind of sound like a Rolling Stone, the way you be talking and standing up for Nate the Great. But this is the video I wanted to talk about. This is the one that really piqued my interest. Like, Fifth what? Fifth marriage? You've been married 5 times, Thunder? I got a homeboy that's been married 5 times. He just got married last May. Oh, the 5th. Okay, Thunder. You're a wild boy. You're a wild boy. All right, listen to this. Now, this is the one I really wanted to discuss.
You know, oftentimes a man knows who his heart belongs to. He knows. And that's why no matter what you do for him, what you give him, how much you give him, the way you give it to him, the frequency of how you give it to him, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't. When he knows who his heart belongs to, man, he just have you as a placeholder. And you can know the ones who have you as a placeholder too. They waste your time. After a while, you can't have no more kids. You don't get nothing that you want. You get that 50-50 crap that you get somebody who don't want to take responsibility. Somebody who don't want to lead. If a man really, if his heart belongs to you, he don't lead. He's gonna do what it takes to keep you. He's gonna do what it takes to make sure that you don't go nowhere. It's just that the problem is these jokers, they know who their heart belongs to, but they probably sometimes already screwed it up already. They already screwed it up. And they can't get it back again. And so they look for that person that they just left in you. And this is why no matter what you do, it's not enough. They're trying to coach you to be that person who left them, that person that get away. They're trying to coach you and tell you how to dress and how to wear your hair and how to carry yourself, how to walk, how to speak, how to look, how to act. Because the person.
Now let's pause it right there. Is that true? Is that true? When you lost a good one and you move on to the other, do you try to make her the last person? Do you try to change who she is to kind of fit the narrative of the last one? I don't think it's good to be with anybody that wants to change who you are at the core, but sometimes you might want her to change your hairstyle to look like the last lady that oftentimes we'll see these videos or these stories about celebrities and, they moved on to the next one and everybody's like, ooh, she sure does look like the last one. So does he have a point? Thunder says, no. Okay. And then I wanted to touch on what he said about the 50-50. He said that if a man wants you and loves you and wants to provide, he's gonna go all in. You're not gonna have to worry about anything. Is that true? I've heard plenty of men say this, and I've seen this. When a man is okay with you splitting half and y'all going Dutch all the time and that man don't really love you like that. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. Then it says the man he is talking about has not let go of her, or he had a type. But then if he has a type, why would you get somebody that's not that type and try to change her into that? Are you saying that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not over the last one? It just means that he has a type and he's trying to mold the new one into that type. Lady Di says men get their hearts broken just like women. They express it in a different way. They entirely are different than us. Men are complete. Listen, I have learned to accept the fact that we do not think or act alike at all. And that's okay because that's how God made us, right? I never want a man like the last one. They do.
Person that they lost, the person whose their heart belonged to, that's how they did it. The truth is, when a man's heart belongs to you, it would be simple. You ain't got to force that man to do anything. You ain't got to beg no man. You ain't got to ask a man 15, 16 times. That man make your life easier. It makes that relationship worth it. He put a smile in your heart. He put this beautiful aura on your face. I promise you, it becomes simple because when his heart belongs to you, man, listen, ain't nobody else could get it. Ain't nobody else. I mean, he's not curious about nobody else. It's a wrap. When his heart don't belong to you, oh my Lord, that's when you all get stressed. That's when you all start gaining that weight. You're losing yourself. You don't recognize yourself anymore. You look in the mirror, you pass the mirror, you hate what you see. You don't know what, you begin to question, why am I here? What am I doing with this person? What the heck is going on? And sometimes you're going to find yourself trying your best because you want to make sure that you did all that you.
I have to say, a lot of women aren't aware of that, though. A lot of women will be in these relationships and it will just be so difficult and things just aren't going the way they want it to. But I tell you what, I don't think a lot of women actually sit back and introspectively think, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight. I'm, stressed all the time. I'm nervous. I just can't please them. Like a lot of women, I don't think a lot of women be thinking that until it's too late or it's near the end and she's just reached her breaking point. And then she finally realized, damn, I've been here. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. And he's still you know? But while you're in it, women aren't thinking like this. We're just not. That's why we be hanging in there forever and ever and ever. Then it says, like me, I have a type older. And when she says Sears, she has to say robot. Sears and robot. Now you're taking it back to the old school. I ain't seen Sears in forever. To be honest, he's pandering a little bit. Yeah, I think he's yeah. He's kind of like Derek Jackson. He's kind of like Derek Jackson. Yeah. He's telling all the stuff. He's telling all of it, y'all. That's why I like listening to him. I just saw him a couple weeks ago, and this is like the third video I've seen of his. But yeah,
to see what's wrong, and they will make you feel like it's you're the problem. They will make you feel, they will complain, but I'm telling you, when a man's heart belong to you, man, it's smooth. I mean, yeah, of course you're gonna still get hiccups. I mean, of course you're gonna still have a little arguments and debates and stuff, but it's not that stressful. It is. You will know exactly where you stand. He will defend you. He will protect you. He will provide for you. You see all that stuff about all them crap that we be doing, all this 50-50 crap and all them crap that people be talking about. And people, if I want to impress you and if I want to keep you, I ain't about to be that low of a man, telling you, hey, I can't provide all you want. Man, please. Listen, he's going to try his best. And even if he can't, he's going to try his best.
Right.
He's going to put that work in. He's going to try hard. The problem is, I don't think people taught you. I don't think we are taught. I think these days, I think women are not being taught what a man is. I think you are taught what to expect, but I don't think you are taught what a man is. And I think men are not taught either how to treat a woman and how to love a woman. A matter of fact, neither of us is taught that. I think our society is getting worse and worse, and our children is going to be even worse because look at what we are doing. We screwing this up. We effing this up big time. We screwing this up. Now,
he's not lying. Are we teaching our kids, how to be good mates for when they grow up? I don't think so. I think now you have a lot of people online that are trying their best to make up for what a lot of parents didn't teach people. But is it too late? I have a son who's 10, so I try my best to give him the example of what a young lady should look like and the type of women that he should go towards, So if there's a girl in his class that's cute and smart and things like that, I tell him that's the type of girl you want, or we'll see somebody on TV or a TV show or something like that, and she seems educated and she's cute, I'll try to encourage him, because I understand that being his sole parent, that I am a huge influence on him. Like when I was able to influence him to really like Michael Jackson, he could tell you any song that comes on the radio, he could tell you if it's Michael Jackson or not, right? And if I tell him, hey, you can play some music, he'll open up Amazon Music and he'll put on the Michael Jackson mix, right? So once I figured out that I was able to really like influence my kid, that was like a light bulb that went out. I was like, if I can influence this on him, I can influence him maybe in this way too, So I make sure to point out certain girls or type of women, and this is the type you want, the one that's calm, demure, the one that doesn't do this, the one. And then of course I try to emulate that, of course, as well, so that he knows that, he shouldn't be with somebody who yells at him all the time. So I have to check myself and my temper and realize when certain things just aren't worth yelling about or screaming about or fussing about, I just let it go, Then it says, here's the thing my dad told me, understanding trumps everything. Be upfront, let them know what your intentions are. Absolutely. Honesty is always the best policy. I believe that as well. Be honest. And sometimes it may hurt, but I think, at least for me, women will respect it more. When you're upfront and just honest about what it is that you want or don't like or don't want, or you moving on because of X, Y, and Z, it's going to hurt. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I had a homeboy who accidentally saw something he wasn't supposed to about a girl that he was courting, right? Something about her physically that he was like, oh, I can't do this because I can't put myself, at risk kind of thing. and she wanted him bad. And they hadn't crossed that line yet because he's an intellectual. He likes to think and talk and have conversation, and he likes to get into the mind. He's not really about looks as much, right? And so he was able to hold off on that until he got to know her. And in the midst of getting to know her, he saw this thing about her on accident. He didn't go looking for it. I trust that he didn't go looking for it and found this information. And he was just upfront and was like, I'm sorry, I can't now. He didn't tell her what he saw, but he let her know. He was like, you know, he cut it off with her rather than stringing her along and then messing with other people. He just cut it off. You know what I'm saying? And he said later, and I told him, because he was like, what should I do? I can't screw her. I can't. Da-da-da. I was like, then let her go. Leave her alone. Quit talking to her. Quit, you know, whatever. And he said, he came back later. He was like, you know, she told me that she respected me being honest with her. What up, Arniba? She respected that I was honest with her and let her go rather than, you know, stringing her along and stuff like that. So honesty goes a long way. It really does. But when he said earlier about a man is going to find a way, even if he don't have it, I wholeheartedly believe that. I really do. Because I've been spoiled plenty of times, which is why it's hard. Like when you've been spoiled, it's hard to go back to not being spoiled. That's why I didn't tolerate it very long in some relationships. But one of my homeboys, his wife, he went into debt trying to impress this girl, you know, and now they're a beautiful family. She's a nurse. He's about to retire from the military. You know what I'm saying? Put her through school. They making bank, you know what I'm saying? Because he invested in her, you know, and then finally, when, you know, once they got together, she helped him pay that debt down. They budgeted and all that stuff. But yeah, he did what he had to get her. He knew what it was going to take. And I'm not saying it's always about money, but women like providers. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman wanting a man that's going to provide for her, because that's the way it should be, you know? When a man says you're worth it, he'll move mountains. Absolutely. Yes, the hell he will. Yes, he will. So when he don't, you like, he ain't doing this and that for me. He not even trying. That's your sign right there.
I ain't gonna lie. A woman also knows who her heart belongs to too, because sometimes she meets that man who do everything for her, who do anything for her, and she just want the one, her ex-boyfriend who she have all the kids with. Sometimes she know who her heart belongs to, and I think many times we always talk about just the men, but the woman also know who her heart belongs to.
Yeah, she know too.
And oftentimes she will stay, use his resource, take all he gives to her, but her heart is still with the other guy, the one that she let get away. Because sometimes, ladies, you screw it up too. Sometimes you screw up a good man. Sometimes you have indecent men and you screw it up because you think that you are young and you have the time and you're beautiful now and you're sexy and you just have all the attention and you screw it up. And that man is gone. But the thing about that man is that he could always have you back. There are some men, I ain't gonna lie, if they come back in your life right now, they can have you. No matter who you're with. They can entertain you. They can get it from you. And let's be honest. Same thing with men. There are some women, if they come back in his life right now, you are gone. This is why we must treat people the first time with love, man. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes some people get over it. But let me tell you this, a man who his heart belongs to, man, he knows who his heart belongs to. It doesn't matter what you do. And when you see that you are doing all these things, you know, one thing that you have to know is when you see that you're not appreciated, and when you see that nothing that you do is enough, it doesn't mean to try harder. It means to just stop.
Yeah, let it go.
It means to stop. It means that they don't appreciate you. It means that you're not the one they want. It means that their heart ain't there. It's just their hands. It's just they are getting something from you. And when you understand this, and same as women, you know, same with women. When you see that, you don't, you know, it is what it is. I feel you. The pain is there, but you have to cut it off. You have to. But yeah, we know who our heart belongs to, man. So sometimes it stays there for a long time. Sometimes that person never leaves his heart. You just have to make peace with it. No, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean all the time that since he loved someone before, it doesn't mean that he can always be able to be with her or want to be with her. It means that he just appreciates her, and he just left it, he leave it be. It doesn't mean that he will always cheat and stuff, but it means a lot of times you gotta be careful. But when you see the signs, he's not treating you right, you gotta beg, you gotta plead, you gotta do this and do that. Leave it alone. Maybe the one he wants is not. It's just not you.
Did you know that
Is that true? Is that true? Can he just, move on and like if his heart still is with, is it possible, guys? Is it possible for you guys to have had a love, lost a love, messed it up, she left, whatever, and then you get into a new relationship, and even though your heart, there's still a piece of your heart that belongs to that woman, can you still give your current woman all that she deserves? Is that possible? Because he's making it sound like it's impossible. I have a feeling that it's possible, but there's always going to be something missing. Then it says, nowadays, there is a laundry list of things a man must do to be considered a man. But when you ask the woman, what does she bring? Why should I choose you? Men get shamed for asking. Oh, yeah. You know what? I have a problem with this. I've only been asked that question one time. And do you know, it was the one person that was doing the least in the relationship? This was the worst guy I ever dated out of my whole history of dating. He was the one that had the audacity to ask me, what do you bring to the table? And you know why he asked me that question? Because I wouldn't give him any that night. That's why he asked me, because he was mad and he wanted to piss me off. And this is when that whole manosphere thing was starting to circulate in social media. And he asked me that question while we were laying in bed. I was like, what? What do I bring? You at my house every day, eating my food. I let you use my car for a week while I went TDY. Didn't charge you. I only asked you to do two things. Keep my car clean, and when you pick me up, gas better be on full. Do you know when I got my car? Let me shut up. Let me shut up. But that's why I have a problem with that question, because the ones that got it don't have to ask that question. It's the ones that don't be the main ones saying, why are you worried about what I bring to the table? Either you like what you see or you don't. Either I'm for you or not. And the same with the women. Either he is what you want or he ain't. I think the question is crazy, personally, because you should be able to see based on their actions, not just what they say they're going to do or what they can do for you. What are they doing for you right now? What do they bring to the table? If you got to ask the question, then they ain't the one. That's just how I feel about it. I heard a woman say, just because he pays the bills, treats her well, is a good father, they say that's not enough. But ask her what is she providing, you hear crickets or get shamed. That's true. I mean, it's supposed to balance, right? It's not going to always be you bring 100. Somebody's going to be failing in something or not bringing as much, and the other person is going to be picking up slack, and then it's going to do like this. That's what a relationship is balance. Is balance. Nothing's going to ever be perfect all the time, 100% of the time. So it's really just about balance, but you got to love that person enough to pick up the slack when they're slacking. It's been my experience that men are treated like the foundation of a house. As long as it's solid and level, no one thinks about it. But once it's broken, then everyone takes notice and complains. True. True. Man of the castle, What's that saying? With great responsibility comes great something, your title and responsibility. If you're the king of the castle, the leader always takes the fall. Always. If you're a supervisor on the job and your subordinate is acting up, who gets blamed? The leader. The supervisor does. The subordinate takes a hit, but the leader is the one that's in charge. That should have been making sure that everything was cool from the beginning. So Arniba says he thinks it's possible to still have your heart somewhere else and still treat your current person as if they're the number one. Okay. What did he bring to the table? You talking about the guy? Nothing. And that's the thing. I talked about this before. I actually had a friend that was 22, 23, and she's the one that actually broke it down to me one day. She was like, you don't sound too excited about this guy. When do I get to meet him? I was like, man. She was like, why are you saying that? What's wrong? She was asking me about it or something like that. And she was like, well, dang it. He doesn't sound like he's, cool. She goes, is the SEX at least good? And I was like, was like, it's not. It's horrible. And she said, then what are we doing? You're wasting time. Oh, and I was like, you know what? You're right. So I stayed for maybe a couple more weeks until he just did one last thing that was just like, oh, you got to go. You got to go. He thought he was going to be he thought we was going to get married. He was laying it on thick, doing too much, love bombing and everything. And I was about to go on a deployment. He thought it was a done deal, but it was just too many red flags. Too many red flags. When we went to dinner and that $90 bill came and he let the bill sit there, I said, oh yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work, because I was just like one of the many things. It feels like the only they talk men is when he's a bad man. They can never point out to a good man that's not on a movie. That makes me think the man thinks the Thunder. You need some periods and some other in this sentence. The man that they want doesn't exist. I mean, yeah. Now, these days, because of social media, it's blowing people's heads up. It's got people all discombobulated and wanting something that don't exist. And it's a shame. But that's why we have to teach each other and be here and explain, what is a good man? What is a good woman? Especially for the people coming behind us, so that they have a clear foundation of what actual courtship looks like. He was a hobo. Well, no, he had his own place. He gave me a key like 2 weeks after us being together. He was just doing too much. But he was trying to move in. He didn't make much money, but I was okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm like, bring what you got, bring what I got. We get, but all the things that he was doing, while we were talking online, and the first week or so, all of that stopped like really crazy. And I don't know if he saw my place and was like, oh, this is it. Like, and then I was nice enough to let him use my car, which was new, you know what I'm saying, while I went out of town, because his was acting up. I was like, but then he asked me to Uber him somewhere one time. And I was like, bruh, I was like, do you have like money to date? Can you date right now? And he was like, I have discretionary funds for dating. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, let's see. So then we went out again, and it just wasn't working, and I was doing more than what he was doing, and it wasn't fair. So I couldn't stay, and I wasn't going to stay because I wasn't used to that. And this is where a lot of men are looking elsewhere for women who grew up in a 2-parent household and have the traditional values, like going overseas. Oh, you're using your hands free? Well, tell it, period, then. I mean, listen, I got no problem with passport bros or men that are looking otherwhere, or men that are looking for women that grew up in 2-parent households. But you also have to remember that, just because there's a man in the house, you want to make sure that that woman grew up with a good man in the house too. You know what I'm saying? Because that can go different ways as well. You got to make sure that her mama was a good mama, that her mama taught her well. So just because it's a 2-parent household, those parents have to, they got to have some scruples with them. Because I know a lot of people that grew up in 2-parent households got issues. My daddy was around till I was 10, and then my mama got remarried again when I was 14. She had a boyfriend. They were long-term for like 4 years, and then they got married, and then he was around for a while, but hot messes. Hot messes. But I think people also don't realize, that the things that we do and show our children can have a lasting effect on their future relationships, But yeah, if you want to know somebody has your heart, basically, if they're doing what you're doing, putting in the same amount and showing, like, it just should be easy. I just think it should be easy. No relationship is easy. You know what I'm saying? I was married before, but it wasn't for a long time. It was only 2 years, and it wasn't that difficult until the end. But in the beginning, Oh, it was easy, you know, and we lived in a small town. It was just me and him. We didn't have any friends there, but I would have went anywhere with that fool as long as I was with him. You know, it was just easy like that, you know. Most of my relationships were pretty much easy, you know, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But that's all I got, you guys. I think I'm going to head off of here and go pick up my Rugrat and get my evening started. So I think this was a successful live. I had 6 people that came on. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up for me. Hit that like. I appreciate you. And we'll chat later. This is Friday, so you guys be safe. Have a plan. Do the right thing. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Have a good weekend and always keep God first. And just be grateful, you know, that he woke us up this morning and that we have beds to lay down in, and, you know, heat and, you know, vehicles and, you know, food. If you can afford eggs, then you're really blessed. You know what I'm saying? If you can afford eggs, listen. There's a lot going on in this world. Peace, Arniba. I love you too, Lady Diana. Thunder says, it's these stories that are constantly in the media. But where is the balance? Where are the good stories about marriage? They would have you thinking every man with a functioning eggplant is a threat. That is true. That is true. That's why it's very important that we guard our eyes. Excuse me. I'm drinking some soda. It's important that we guard our eyes and our ears to what we ingest, because it really can affect our psyche and how we view the world and other people. And it's not fair and it's not right. And unfortunately, all media will push that toxicity. They will push the worst about everybody, you know, because for some reason we're addicted to trauma and toxicity. We love watching it, right? Just like how RC brought up Dr. Umar Johnson and his daughter. Like we're addicted to that crap, you know. And Demetria was saying, oh, some bad stuff came out about Umar, but I ain't going. Now I gotta go find it. But it's like you know, it's exciting and it's different and it's toxic and it's just really something to just talk about, really, you know. But this is life, and yeah, it's people on the media, but that's not the average everyday person. So yeah, I think we have to keep in mind that that's not what it is on a regular everyday with everybody, you know. I do believe that there are genuinely more good people than bad, but for me, for some reason, I'm being introduced to just the bad of the bad, or maybe I'm just noticing it more. I think my eyes and ears are just open a lot more to character defects of people. And some I can overlook, but some I can't, especially when it starts to affect me negatively. You know, I think really we have to just know when to walk away rather than to stay in things and just recognize the signs. Good, you know, green flags and red flags. I think that's the key. And if something is not serving you, and if you can't be of service to somebody, it's time to move. Got to walk away. As a man, I'm walking around nervous. Did you hear about what's going on in Australia? No, what's going on in Australia? Break it down, Thunder. Don't walk around nervous. You a man. If anything, you can protect yourself, right? So don't be nervous. And I mean, and I understand why men are, you know, less likely to, you know, hold doors for women and pull over and help, because number one, you don't know if it's a setup. Number two, you don't know if it's going to be well received. And that's a weird feminist narrative that was put out there. But I'm going to tell you what, most of the Black women that I know didn't sign up for that shit. So don't stop being a gentleman for us, because we didn't ask for that. Don't put that narrative on us. Think about all the women that you know. You can get charges for what I call reckless eyeballing. Now I just look at the ground and don't speak. No, don't do that. I can protect myself from another man, but I can't protect myself from these charges. I mean, speaking is different though. Like, I mean, a woman's not going to call the cops on you saying, hey, how you doing? Or you look really nice today. You know, don't over exaggerate it. Look at Thunder putting a 10 on a 2. But I understand. You do have to be careful. And that's one thing I worry about having a son. Like, I prayed to God that I would have a son. I did not want a daughter at all because I knew she was going to be beautiful like her mama, right? And I was violated as a child. So I always had that fear that if I had a daughter that, you know, I might not be able to protect her from a predator, right? So I prayed to God, please don't let me have a girl. I don't want a girl. I want a boy. And I had a boy, and I'm so grateful. But when I think about life and situations in society, and when he gets ready to get into high school and start dating girls and going to college, and one slip up and one accusation can change the whole trajectory of his life, that worries me like no other. Oh my God, like no other. So one day we were listening to Christmas music, and you know that song, Baby It's Cold Outside? I had to break it down to him. I said, look, I said, do you know they took this song, because it played on Amazon Music, and I was surprised. I was like, oh, I thought they banned this song. I said, this song was banned a few years ago. And he was like, why? So I explained to him. So we're watching the video of it, and it's, you know, the woman saying, I gotta go. And he's like, no, baby, come. I got the wine, I got the champagne, I got the fireplace. It's warm in here. Just stay. And he's coaxing her, and she's like, no, but I gotta go. And I said, son, listen, when she says no and she gotta go, let her go. Don't coax her. Don't change her mind. Let her go. I said, but whole time we know she really wants to stay. So there's a fine line between playing hard to get and really meaning no, you know? So I think also we have to start teaching young girls and women to be more firm about no. You know, that way there's no lines being blurred. And we also have to teach the men, listen, when a woman says no, even if you think she's playing or if you think she's serious, take it for what it is. Just listen to the words. Don't worry about body language, words. But body language is important too, because if she tensed up, ooh, maybe she's not comfortable, right? So there's all these nuances to everything that's going on that we just have to be aware of. And it is scary, Thunder. I understand. You don't want no charge just because you saying, hey, how you doing? You know? Men now be like, can I give you a hug? Sure, you can give me a hug. Don't get too close though, you know, but it's just all messed up. It's different. It's just different times. It's different times. And at the end of the day, we just got to be safe. In the court of public opinion, just the allegation alone is a guilty verdict. Yeah, it can be. It can be. But I mean, when you watch news, like say for R. Kelly, for example, R. Kelly or Tory Lanez or Bill Cosby, people like that, there's usually just a very equal divide. You know, the women are usually, you know, on the woman's side, and then the men are usually on. I mean, I always see more men sticking up for the men, and sometimes I see a lot of women sticking up for the men too. So the court of public opinion does weigh in on verdicts a lot of times, but I wouldn't say just because the woman says it that everybody's always to jump to the woman. Back in the day, it used to be that way, but nowadays, a lot of people aren't going for it anymore just because of so many false accusations. As a Black man, you can only be looked at as a potential predator and never a victim. Black can never be a victim. He can't even pretend to be a victim, even on Halloween. That's true. It's true. It'd be like that. So you just got to do what you can. Stay prayed up and have discernment. I think that's the key. Knowing when something don't feel right or look right, and just saying, no, I'm good. And keep it moving. You know, keep your nose clean. Stay out of trouble. When you get pulled over from the cops, just do what they tell you. Quit trying to be the tough guy. And I'm not trying to victim blame. I'm just saying sometimes, sorry, there are things that we can do just as Black people to make things easier on us. Does it feel like we're cowering and just kind of, yeah, but I think when it comes to our lives being saved, you got to do what you got to do and deal with everything else on the back end. Sue if you have to, or, you know, that's really what it's about. I think just controlling our emotions. And that's what we have to teach our kids. Like we got all these robots and things like that coming out. And you got crazy ass Elon Musk. in the White House causing havoc. You know, we have to be cognizant of what's coming. Technology ain't no joke. And like you said, Thunder, the Black man can never be a victim. So emotional regulation and emotional intelligence has to be at an all-time high. I'm teaching my son that, listen, we have to deal with these robots, and soon we're going to have robot cops, and these robots are going to be programmed to treat Black people as a threat, right? Black women, Black men specifically, are going to be seen as a threat. So the way these robots deal with the Black person is going to be totally different than the way they deal with white people, just like cops nowadays, right? Not saying all cops, because there are some good cops out there, right? But these robots are going to be programmed just like this YouTube algorithm, how you have white YouTubers whose channels soar and succeed and get their content is pushed. Black ones, especially ones that look like me, dark skin, nappy hair, average looking, whatever. My stuff is not, but if I was lighter, if my hair was curly, if I was long, if I had a weave, my stuff would be like this, right? If I was showing my tits, whatever, right? So it's the same. These robots are going to be programmed to treat a certain demographic and the way a person looks in a particular way. So I'm teaching him emotional regulation, emotional intelligence at all times. Do not show emotion when it comes to certain things. You know, I'm learning to be shocked at something, but hold it in and not physically show it all the time. You know, your face doesn't always have to tell what it is that you're thinking, right? That's for you and for you to figure out, and then you can move and act accordingly. But everything doesn't have to be said. Everything doesn't have to be shown. You know, you just have to operate and move in a way that's going to benefit you in the long run. Have you ever seen the leaked Epstein list? Ooh, the one thing I noticed is that there was a lot, and I mean a lot of women on that list, but they only mentioned the men. That's crazy. Well, didn't he have a counterpart that went to jail? Jane somebody? Was that Jane something, that lady? But it doesn't surprise me. A lot of these women are complicit with these men, you know? A lot of these women, I mean, we just saw the case with the baby who was murdered by her foster mom or her auntie's boyfriend. And you know that he was just using her because she looked crazy and he was decent, but not right in the head and touching on her kids and stuff like that. And she allowed it. You know, and that's another reason why a lot of these women or young girls and boys don't come out and say anything, because they don't think that their family is going to believe them. And it's a shame. But a lot of women are complicit in this perversion that goes on. So we have to protect our kids from not just men, but from women too. I remember one time my son, a neighbor, sat him on her lap and he got up so quick, you know, and I watched that and I was like, you know, because kids can sense stuff and they know when something ain't right. And I was thinking to myself, something, you know what I'm saying? And it just so happens that, well, let me not go there, but yeah. So we have to, you know, it's not just men. It is definitely women. I know I was always worried about my son, always worried about my son at daycare, you know, the way they would kiss on him and stuff like that. And my son was kind of a little well endowed for his age as a baby. And I just would pray every day, like, Lord, just protect my baby. Just please don't let nobody touch him. You know, I would get there as soon as I can, you know, pop in during lunchtime, all of that, just to make sure. So I don't know. Thanks, Thunder. Yeah, Maxwell Just Lane. Yeah, Just Lane Maxwell. Yeah, they got her. But that's crazy that there's a lot of women on that list. I mean, like I said, it's not hard to believe. You see a lot of these pastor and wives stories. I watch what's his name? Dalton somebody, and he talks about all of the pastor scandals. And believe it or not, more like at least half of these stories about these pastors that did debauchery in the church with young boys and young girls and things like that, the wives were in on it. The wives were in on it. They'll do whatever to please their man, or they're freaks themselves, taking advantage of unsuspecting people, using God's name in vain. Here go my son right here. Hello? Hello? Pizza Hut, how can I help you?
Oh, I meant to call McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's? Okay. You ready for me to come get you? Are you ready for me to come get you?
Yeah.
Okay, now when I come get you, don't be acting crazy. Like, oh, you're here. You called me to come get you. So when I get you, I don't care if you're in the middle of a game or anything. We leaving, all right?
Okay, 15 minutes.
Okay, I'll see you in 15. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye. Could I what? What?
McDonald's?
No, you ain't getting no McDonald's.
Please?
Why? Because
And they want to try they made the shamrock shake.
oh, they have Shamrock Shakes are back. We haven't had McDonald's in forever. You want that really?
Yeah. You mean so I can get the toy for free?
Okay, we'll see about the Pokemon card. We'll see. Maybe we could just get the Pokemon card and the Shamrock Shake, okay? But you know their shake machines don't ever work. Okay, I gotta go. We'll talk about it when I get you. I love you. Bye. Bye. That just made my stomach just thinking about McDonald's. We haven't had that in I don't know how long. When's the last time we had McDonald's? Ooh, I had a bad story about the last time I had. I ain't even gonna share it with y'all because just in case y'all don't feel like cooking tonight and you decide to go get you, let me just keep it to myself. It's hard for as a lot of men to step forward because remember, a black man is never a victim. With a black boy says Miss So and so did ABC. They say you get lucky. What the hell? You're gonna have to I don't get that one. But let's be real, Thunder. Okay. Listen now. I ain't 100% pick me. And I ain't 100% feminist. I like to meet somewhere in the middle. And no, the black man can't be the victim, but we have to be honest and say that sometimes people make the decisions that they make and they are where they are because of the decisions that they make. It's not always because of what somebody else does. And this goes for everybody, right? We all have choices in life. God gave us free will. You can either go left or you can go right. You can either do bad or you could do good, you know? And sometimes being in the wrong place at the wrong time, when you know damn well you didn't have no business being there, can get you in a trick bag, you know? So that's what I'm teaching my son too. Accountability is so important. It happened to Steve Harvey, and the woman was in the crowd, stood up proudly, and the audience cheered and clapped for her. What happened? But yeah, I was just telling one of my friends, we were talking the other day, and I was telling her that my son got in trouble, and I believed him, you know, but they kept saying they had proof that he was the one in the wrong, and they had videotape, but they wouldn't show me the videotape. And I said, I just want to see the tape because my son is saying one thing and you guys are saying another. And they're like, well, according to policy, I can't show you. And I said, well, I want to talk to somebody that says that this is policy. So the principal was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I saw the tape and this is exactly what happened, but I cannot show you because there are other children on the video, blah, blah, blah. So I just had to chop it up and just take it. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't know. Like, I believe my son, but I also know that my son can lie sometimes to protect himself, right? So we just talked about the situation extensively to figure out what he could do next time rather than what occurred. He was defending himself, you know, but according to these people, and these were two black women, the principal and the vice principal, and they said, no, we saw the tape and this is what happened. And it's like, I have to trust that they, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of those parents. I'm one of those parents that will normally believe the adult over my kid. But in this situation, something just didn't, you know what I'm saying? So it's just hard. It's difficult because we're all limited, you know? And of course, we have systemic issues and things from the past and things that are still present that stemmed from the past that are affecting us now. And it does. I would never come on here and say that Black men are affected by systemic things and stuff like that. I would never say that, but I do know that there are choices that certain people made, and that's why they are where they are. They say that Black boy got lucky when he was abused. And as a man, you can't step up and say that she SA'd me because they'll add you to the LGBT. Why are you complaining? Yeah. I was watching Messy Michonne. She was covering that about a man who said that a woman took advantage of him. And that's how he ended up with the kid or whatever, And it does happen. It does happen. And I think we have to just be more sensitive to the fact of that, and it's unfortunate. It is, but yeah. I don't like ending on a bad note, though. Thunder, what you got planned for the weekend? And then I'm going to end it. What you going to do fun for the weekend? We don't really have any plans. We're going to clean. We're going to clean this house. That's what we're going to do. Okay? Because I let my son eat in the living room, and he's got crumbs on the carpet. So he going to vacuum, and he going to clean the outside of the house, pick up all the trash, and we going to do something fun. Probably go play racquetball or something like that tomorrow. But we're budgeting, y'all, because we see the economy, start saving. I'm trying not to frivolously spend. I'm trying to be mindful with what I have, be grateful for what I have, because the more grateful I am, the more God continues to bless me. I am just, y'all have no idea the level of blessings I've had just in the last 2 months. God is so good. He is so good. But I know it's because of my discipline and the gratitude that I have for what I currently have. Thunder says, I'm going to hang out with some older ladies and might do a day trip. Okay. Day trip where? I forgot where. Are you in Texas with Demetra? Are you out there? Older ladies. Let me find out you like them older ladies, Thunder. A day trip sounds fun. I kind of want to go to Maryland, though, this weekend. I want to go look at some places out there. But I don't know. Sunny is supposed to be coming soon, so I don't know when the dog is arriving. He put her on a thing today, and she's traveling by car. So I don't know when the dog will be here. Me, Mildred, Agnes, and Gertrude. Oh, Lord, you really hanging with... Them is some old lady's name. What's the name Demetra be saying on her channel? What is that name? It's an old lady name she be using. I do like them older ladies. Okay, Thunder. I thought you was older yourself, so I don't know. This is interesting. Really interesting. But anyways, let me get out here and go get my son. You guys have a great weekend. God bless you all. Thank you for spending time with me on the chat. If you did not hit that like button, hit the like. Go ahead and subscribe. Share the video if you will. I know it was a little lengthy, and I was trying to figure this out, but it is what it is. Look at Shots coming through in the end. What it do? Happy Friday. I know you're going to be live later, so I'll try to make sure that I pop on there for a little bit and see what you're talking about. I hope all is well with you and the wife and your handsome, smart sons. The smell of white diamonds and Virginia Slims. You a mess. Oh, shit. Yeah, you missed me. I've been on here 2 hours. Oh, my God. Woo. Time flies. Listen, when you on here just running off at the mouth, time be flying. Reminiscing, we reviewed a couple of videos about men and things like that. Okay, so I'll pop on while I'm going to get my son. I won't be typing in the chat, but I'll be there listening to you, Shots. Most definitely. Lady Di says, I'm too old for you, Thunder. No, you're not, Lady Di. See, listen, we got to talk. Me and you ain't done with our last conversation, ma'am. You ain't too old because you young at heart and you look young. You look good. So we're not going there. Shoot, 10 years younger, ain't nothing wrong with it. As long as you ain't got a problem with it and he ain't got a problem with it. Go for it. Copy that. All right, y'all. I'm out.